Former IDF spokesperson, senior fellow for the Defense of Democracies, Jonathan Conricus, joins me. Good evening, sir. How long can Prime Minister Netanyahu be patient, making a mockery of the hostage by this sinister trick of throwing someone in a pit and throwing dirt on it, trying to pass it off as it, and firing on the IDF? And at what point, how long does Netanyahu remain patient? Because he has the live hostages back. I know he wants the remains of those who are not alive, but tell me.
Yes, hello, Greta. Thanks to be good to be on again. I think that the Prime Minister would probably have liked to respond and to do different things a long time ago. I'll remind everybody watching that Hamas was supposed to return all of the bodies of the murdered Israeli hostages within 72 hours, and that was almost 2 weeks ago. So when we look at the situation, Hamas is signaling very clearly that they understand that the US and most of the world wants this peace deal really to succeed, and Hamas understand that they can push the envelope. And what we see Hamas doing is pushing the envelope everywhere, not returning remains of hostages, refusing to disarm, and of course conducting blatant and premeditated attacks against Israeli troops. And I think they understand that Israel is a bit bound here by the US administration, and that Israel cannot respond currently as it would like to respond to these violations. So I think there's a bit of a reality distortion field around Gaza currently, because reality is that Hamas is really significantly violating the deal, but the distortion field says to Israel, you have to stay in the deal and not disrupt it.
Well, I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for Hamas to disarm as it agreed to, but we only have about a minute left. Can you tell me, do you have any idea how many people make up Hamas and who is the current leader in Gaza? Is there one?
Yes, his name is Izzadin Haddad. He's the military commander. He rose to prominence after Yahya Sinwar, Mohammed Sinwar, and Mohammed Def were eliminated. And he calls the shots currently. Yes, there's a lot of senior Hamas terrorists that have been killed by Israel, but he is in command. And there are still a lot of Hamas terrorists outside of Gaza, in Qatar, in Turkey, and other places, and they still have functioning command and control. I think we're talking about around 20,000 Hamas operatives armed with weapons. I don't know their level of proficiency and how good they've been trained, because most of them are young recruits that have been, put on uniform and become part of Hamas just very lately. But at the end of the day, they don't look as if they're disarming. They want to stay in power. They're settling scores with other Palestinians. And if they need to be disarmed, but the big question is, who will actually disarm them?
Jonathan Conricus, thank you, sir.
Thank you.